She was constantly responding to life instead of leading herself through it.
Welcome to the Nicole Curcio podcast, the show for women who want it all. Faith at the center, a strong and feminine body, deep family connections, and true freedom in their lives. I'm Nicole Curcio, a former medical insider turned fat loss and physique coach. I help high-performing women transform from the inside out, physically, mentally, and spiritually, without starving, obsessing, or burning out. Around here, we train with intention, eat with purpose, and build a life that reflects the woman you were created to be. Let's get into it.
So far, we've walked through your identity, victim versus owner, your behavior, excuse maker versus action taker, your mindset, all or nothing versus progress over perfection. Now we're tackling lifestyle. And today's question is, are you a chaos responder or a chaos navigator? Let's be real, life gets messy. You fight with your spouse, your kids get sick, work blows up, your period hits, you get stressed, you travel, you just don't feel like it. And when that happens, how you respond to chaos determines your goals, whether they get paused or whether you keep moving anyway. So let's break it down. A chaos responder is reactive. She lets life set the tone for her habits. If something comes up, her routine is the first thing to go. She tells herself, this week is crazy, I'll get back on track when things settle down. But let me tell you, life is never going to settle down. There's always something, a birthday, a trip, a deadline, a curveball. And if you're waiting for a perfect window to stay consistent, you're going to be starting over forever. Now, the chaos navigator. She's proactive. She doesn't need perfect conditions. She needs a plan. She asks, what does consistency look like in this season? She adapts without abandoning her goal. She still eats protein when she's traveling. She still goes for a walk even if she can't lift. She still chooses water when everyone else is having soda or alcohol. She's not doing the most, but she's doing something. That's the difference. Let me tell you something I say to my clients all the time. You don't need more discipline. You need better defaults. You need better habits. You need a system that can bend with your life without breaking, because chaos is not the exception. It is the norm. So you've got to learn how to navigate it, not just react to it. And I want to pause and ask you a reflective question. What do you usually do when your routine gets thrown off? Do you throw in the towel? Do you freeze and wait for the storm to pass? Do you let one day off become a whole week off? Or do you have a plan that can flex? Let me give you an example from one of my clients. We'll call her Mary. Mary used to go into shutdown mode the second her week went sideways. If a work deadline popped up, she'd skip workouts. If her sleep was off, she'd reach for sugar and caffeine. She was constantly responding to life instead of leading herself through it. But we started creating chaos protocols. Little systems she could fall back on when life got nuts. It's gonna get nuts. So what would that look like? Having 3 go-to meals when she doesn't have time to cook. A 20-minute movement option for crazy days. A non-negotiables list. Water, protein, 7,000 steps, 7 hours of sleep. And over time, she stopped waiting for the calm. She learned how to move through the chaos on purpose. That is a chaos navigator. Want a quick mindset shift? Here it is. Stop asking, can I be consistent? And start asking, how can I be consistent when it's hard? Because that's a true test of your lifestyle. Not how you show up when it's easy, but how do you show up when it's not? Now hear me, this doesn't mean you never rest. It doesn't mean you push through exhaustion and ignore all real needs. What it does mean is that your standard doesn't evaporate the second life gets inconvenient. You stay rooted, even if it's messy. You scale back without checking out. You ask what's possible right now, and you do that. That's leadership, that's ownership, that is long-term change. So where do you go from here? Start building your own Chaos Toolkit. What are your go-to meals for stressful weeks? What's the bare minimum workouts? What are your 3 daily non-negotiables? What mindset anchor keeps you from spiraling? Put those things in place before you need them, because when the storm hits, you won't have time to figure it out. You'll need to fall back on what you've already built. I'll leave you with this. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about preparation. So today I ask you, which side are you on? A chaos responder or a chaos navigator? The woman you want to become? She doesn't wait for peace and quiet to stay perfectly on track. She creates clarity in the chaos. She leads herself through the hard days. She adapts, but she doesn't abandon. And you can be that woman too. So tell me, Which side are you on?
Strong, sexy, and unapologetically confident. That's the goal. Now go lift heavy, eat like you mean it, and act like the woman you're becoming. Talk soon.